Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 13th, 2022 voting meeting of the Keystone Central Board of Directors. We will start with a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dietrich,
Here.
Mrs. Donahue,
Here.
Mr. Elling, Mr. Johnston,
Here,
Mr. Knopf, Mr. Koch, Ms. Lynch,
Here.
Mr. Scholes,
Here.
and Mrs. Smith.
Here.
6 members present.
The board held an executive session on October 6th from 7:26 PM to 7:48 PM to discuss legal and personnel matters. So we're going to start this evening with a presentation from our Clay Target League. You can sit, stand, just make sure you're at a microphone and talk them right in it. Nah, Stephen will get it for you. They might have turned off.
Administrator for the Clay Target League program. We wanted to start.
I want to switch microphones. Where's the other one? That one's a little.
Sit on.
Yep.
So we wanted to start tonight by thanking Dr. Martin, Mr. Hafley, and the school board for inviting us to present our Clay Target program to you tonight. We realize that this club is very unique. So we are grateful for the board's previous approval back in 2021 and for their continued support. As you can see by the amount of blue in the room tonight, the program is proving to be highly popular and successful. We thought we'd start the presentation with showing you all a video of what our Sundays look like at Liberty Township Sportsman's Club. we're going to pass the rest of the presentation on to the students to tell you more about the program.
The Central Mountain High School Clay League is an affiliate of the USA High School Clay Target League. We are one of only 45 schools in PA that offer this program to their students. Minnesota was the first state to have a clay target program in 2007 with 30 participants and 3 teams. The spring of 2021 saw a record number of students and schools participating in the league with just over 43,000 participants, with a total of 1,466 teams across 34 states. Our team helped contribute to these numbers with 24 team members in the spring of 2022. Our team started out in the spring of 2021 with 14 student athletes and has increased each season. Currently, we have 25 rostered student athletes.
Our league has 3 major beliefs. Our first and most important is to be safe and responsible. We always wear eye and ear protection. Our barrels are always pointed up. Our actions are always open, and we do not load our guns until we are in the shooting stations, and it's our turn. Then it's have fun, and third is marksmanship. Our scores will improve with practice and following to be safe and to have fun. To be part of the club, you have to have either a PA Hunter Education certification or a league safe certification, which you can get right through the league. There's always a range safety officer on each field, and we have a safety talk before we begin shooting each week. We have 3 disciplines: trap, skeet, and 5-stand. We have 13 students who shoot trap. Trap, you shoot all going away targets. And then we have skeet, which is, we also have 13 students. And it's coming crossing the field, and you walk in a half circular motion and you shoot at different stations. And last is 5-stand. We're full in 5-stand with 15 students. And it's an event where you shoot many different clay pigeons, like middies and batus and standard birds. The Clay Target League has 16 registered coaches, range safety officers, and support staff, plus 1 student staff member. Our coaches are highly qualified. They shoot in competitions at local, state, regional, and national levels. They've been recognized in Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, and at the national level in San Antonio, Texas, with various awards. We are very fortunate to have the coaches with knowledge and experience coaching us. Could all the coaches, range safety officers, and support staff please stand up?
Let me just butt in before Jake starts about our volunteers. We wouldn't be here tonight without them and without the support of Liberty Township Sportsman's Club. We are blessed to have their facility as our home range. And each of these people who volunteer their times every Sunday, some of our coaches come on Tuesday nights to practice, and they're there on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights as well. They all have their clearances. They've gone above and beyond. They help the kids find ammunition. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are.
Our team has been very successful. In the spring of 2021, we placed first in 5-stand and skeet. In the fall of 2021, we placed second in 5-stand and skeet. And in the past spring of 2022, we placed first in 5-stand, a national bracket, 17 out of 5 states, second in trap, and second in skeet, a national bracket. Each round, we shoot 25 targets. To shoot a 25 or 50 straight, a student must shoot a perfect score of 25 or 50. Our athletes can also earn letters in the program, which you can get by shooting a 25 or averaging 19 or higher. One last thing I was asked to speak about was the Pennsylvania State High School Trap Tournament, which was in this past June 11th in Elysburg. We know as a team it was going to be extremely competitive coming into it, and we had to be shooting our best that day. Although I shot 97 out of 100 clays, which was a great score, I didn't even place, and there was a lot of other shooters who shot just as well as me. That just shows how good the competition was at this level, but also shows how great of coaching we have. I was a freshman at the time, and this was my first state tournament. To even make it there is an honor. 97 out of 100 clays was a great score, and I hope to make it back in 2023.
So I'm going to interrupt before Ben starts and just elaborate on some of the things that Jake talked about. The kids, the team is first and foremost, the league believes in the team's overall score above the individual score. But they also recognize the athletes who are doing well as an individual. And they do that with the awards at the end of each season. On top of our team awards, we have athletes who have earned individual awards, first place, second place, third place. What's really cool about the Clay Target League program is at the end of the season, their conference shooting, they put them in brackets based on how they're doing as a novice, a JV shooter, or a varsity shooter. So then when they move on to tournament shooting, then they can earn awards in their category. So we've had students earn first place as novice shooters. We've had students place as JV shooters and also as varsity shooters. We have what Jake was talking about, the 25 straight clays. A round of shooting is 25 targets. So if you shoot every single target and hit it, you shot a 25 straight. So the league recognizes them with the 25 straight, 50 straight. And then Liberty Township also recognizes them with patches that they give to the kids as well for the same thing. So we try to recognize those students. We have 5 kids right now from the time we started in 2021 to now to current who have earned 25 straights. Some have done it multiple times. Some have done it once. Those students are Emery Gonzalez, Denny Dolan, who's not here, Jake Leader, Wyatt Ripka, and Wyatt Corman are part of our 25 straight club. I think that's all I have. You can go ahead, Ben.
We are grateful for our sponsorships, grants, and community donations. Your Optics gladly bought our team shirts. The NRA and Friends of the NRA gave us 53 flats and ammunition that was worth $4,770. To date, we received $6,204.50 in donations. These donations have paid for our team shirts, clay targets, lettering program, team end of year banquet, and senior and coach awards and recognitions.
Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you, boys. You did good. My husband thought it would be fun to finish the program off, the presentation off with fun facts for the Central Mountain. Thank you for remembering. Fun facts for the Clay Target program. So the number I want you to remember is 14,700. That's going to be, the kids are going to shoot through 14,700 clay targets throughout the fall season, just on Sundays. That doesn't include their practicing. They're going to shoot at least 14,700, where's my shot shells? That's going to be 14,700 times that the coaches are going to hear the kids yelling, pull. It costs roughly 44 cents every time the kids pull the trigger. So with their shot shell and their target, every time they shoot, it's about 44 cents. So that's a total of $6,468 per season just to shoot on Sundays. There are roughly 350 shot shells, pellets in a shot shell. So my husband likes big numbers. So in the shot, that's going to be 5,145,000 BBs per season. And he thinks that it only takes one of those BBs to break one of these targets. The kids are going to argue that. We go out and pick these up at the end of the night, the ones that they don't hit, and we reuse them to save ourselves some money. And we often find one shot shell in these clay targets. So they're going to say it's going to take at least 3 or 4 of those BBs to hit this before it breaks. The last fun fact, the video that we showed was a lot of nice weather. You didn't see the rain, the snow, the wind, but our athletes come out every Sunday, and it doesn't matter what the weather is, they're shooting in it. And more often than not, they have shot in cold, rainy, windy weather. The Sundays don't like us very much over there. So that concludes our presentation, and we're just wondering if the board has any questions for our students or our coaches.
Yeah, go ahead. Carrie had, Mr. Stover had signed up to speak as a public member, so we'll let him go.
I was going to tell you a little bit about this because let me take you to the commercial about the hair club president is also a client. I'm the sheriff. Okay. A lot of people know me, but my daughter also shot in this. She never shot a moving target before she showed up that day. And I think as the sheriff, responsible gun ownership is key. And I see it every day. These kids go there, they put their guns together, they pull them out of the cases. They're safe. They put them on the gun racks pointing up. Coaches yell after the final shot in the 25. Action's open, barrels up, safety's on. You see the kids checking, but they're laughing. They're having a good time. They're learning something that's going to stick with them throughout their whole life. My daughter shoots targets and she beats me. And all these kids here, you know, I learned to shoot from these coaches myself. I'm friends with a lot of them, but they taught me to shoot. And I enjoy going up there and doing it with them. So I wanted to say kudos to the kids, all the student athletes that shoot, how good a job they've done so far. And to the coaches, I didn't know if there would be mention of the coaches. These coaches are top notch. I don't know where you'd get any better coaches, and they invest the time in these kids to teach them right too. So from a parent who saw his daughter go through it, and she sent me a text message, Dad, you have to be there tonight to speak because she's staying at Penn State now, but I knew I wanted to be here. So thank you for the time as well.
Thank you. I've seen some Facebook posts most Sundays, Mondays of the parents last year and this year posting about how much fun the kids are having. So I'm really glad we were able to approve this program for you, and it's going so well. You're making us proud.
That's why we wanted you to have an opportunity to come back and share with the board. I know it was wonderful that they've been supporting this from the beginning, but it's been probably 3 times more successful than I thought it would be when we recommended it to the board. And we're just really so proud of all of you and thankful for the community connections and working with our kids. Did you have a comment?
I
or
just
question?
wanted to say my background's health ed, and we're always at Lock Haven University.
Dr.
and
Schultz, could you use that microphone?
We're always teaching the future teachers that, you know, group sports are important, like football, basketball, so forth, but it's the lifetime activities that really make the difference in the daily lives. And I was impressed with. One, I'm impressed with your presentation skills, but I'm just impressed with the team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, can I say something, Tracy? Because I can't see you. I just want to say that I just want to congratulate everybody, the coaches, the students. I think this is a wonderful program. It's teaching them a lot of responsibility, and I'm just really thrilled that it's taken off like it has. And I just want to say thank you and keep up the good work. It's a really worthwhile program, and I think I'm really glad that we were able to approve it. So just way to go.
Yeah, I have just one comment. I'm happy that we have this program. I had personally a lot of fond memories of shooting clay pigeons with my friends when I was younger. We never had anything like this, any program like this, an organized activity. We had this like slingshot mechanism we used to launch them ourselves by hand and shoot them. But yeah, it's very nice to see that we have an organized activity like this. And it is true that the lifetime memories will be there. They're for me personally. And yeah, I'm glad to see that so many folks students are participating. Yeah, I would like to. I'm actually a member of the Liberty range. So yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Miss Tracy.
Yes, Elizabeth, go ahead.
Yes, and also a huge shout out to Stephen Halfley for bringing it to the curricular, non-curricular committee with those volunteers from the sporting league. It was just a go from the start because their first presentation was just, how could anyone say no? So thank you, community members. Good job. And students.
Yes.
Everybody sounds like they're proud of this team. Does the school give them any financial support? They don't. Why don't they?
So I think I can answer that question. When this was proposed as a team, it was proposed as a club, and it was proposed as self-funded because the Clay Target community was giving donations, I think, and they were offsetting the costs, and they came forward to say it won't cost anything in the budget. And we'd like to get this approved. So that's where we've been at this point, but that doesn't mean that there can't be funding proposed in the, correct. And that doesn't mean that there can't be money budgeted in future budgets. No doubt. And the support is all the way around.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Great job. Keep it up. You're welcome.
I'll see you one of these Sundays. Great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
For those of you online, we're just giving everybody a moment to clear out here. See ya, thanks. We're almost there. Bye, thank you. Okay. So we are going to move on to the hearing of visitors. The Keystone Central Board of Directors encourages public comment from its citizens. Each community member may speak for a period of no longer than 4 minutes per board policy. Please understand that this is not a time for dialogue with the board. Rather, the board will listen to all comments and consider them in further deliberations. So Sheriff Stover already did speak. So we have Michelle Whitney, and her topic is on policy and procedure. Yes.
Short, I'm going to move this. Well, the superintendent isn't here yet, though.
She had to step out.
Okay, well, first is first. you're in violation of the Sunshine Act. During executive sessions, when you announce that back to the public, you're required by law to state what the legal and personal issues were, not requiring personal identifying information, but to provide transparency back to the public, which they are due. In other words, you can't just say we have a personnel issue or we have a legal issue. It has to go into more depth so the public thoroughly understands exactly what you are working on behind the scenes. Now, onto my issue is the fact that I don't seem to be able to get any information out of the school district concerning issues that taxpayers have a right to know. I'm going to read an email that I sent September 14th. Hello, I'm seeking an explanation. This went to the entire board, by the way. I'm seeking an explanation for why girls are permitted in the boys' restroom. This sets our student male population at risk. All that is needed is for one attention-seeking female to claim that she was sexually assaulted, resulting in the arrest of the male student. Naturally, there are no cameras in the bathroom. Therefore, there's no protection against false claims and no supervision to ward off this type of behavior to begin with. How is any of this appropriate? The number one job of the district is to protect the students, all of them. This ridiculous practice is doomed to failure and has the real likelihood of allowing male students to be victimized by females. And they asked some questions. Have you contacted Superintendent Martin? If so, what was discussed? Is this practice supported by you? If so, why? If this practice is not supported by you, when will it cease? And will there be a policy adopted banning this practice in the future? Tracy Smith got back to me and emailed, there was absolutely no rule change regarding bathroom use. I personally spoke with Dr. Martin throughout the day yesterday about the situation. It was all handled according to school policy and procedures. The district nor the board will be commenting on matters involving any students specifically to ensure their privacy. In the future, please contact someone from the district directly for clarification before spreading rumors and false information. Jumping on rumors and accusations does not help our students in any way. However, to rebuke that, we had video. And it was quite clear that there was a female walking into a male's bathroom. So whether you want to deny it, that's fine and dandy, and that's your choice. However, it is fact. So I ask again the question, what is the policy and procedure guarding this action? Is it being enforced? Because policy and procedure is not law. So you can turn a blind eye to it. Do you encourage this activity or not? It's very simple.
There is a video, absolutely. Just because there's a video and a child did it does not mean that we allow it. All students involved in that incident were disciplined according to our handbook. It's not allowed.
Okay, so there are no girls and boys bathrooms.
No,
That was a simple question.
it's not allowed, and it was answered. There's been no changes. They're not allowed. You're
Are there
saying-
transgenders in female locker rooms at Bucktail High? Is that permitted?
Per federal law, yes.
Okay, so there is that instance. The second question I asked, and Superintendent Martin was very nice to get back to me, but we missed one of the questions was, what is the curriculum and who authored it?
What curriculum?
What is the curriculum that was purchased here by the school district?
On what topic? What subject?
The curriculum. You purchased a curriculum. What is the curriculum? What is the name of the curriculum?
So I think that was the clarification I asked for, right? And what subject area?
In all of it, there was $68,000 spent on curriculum.
So curriculum's a big topic. You're gonna have to narrow that down. We've spent curriculum dollars on math, reading. I mean, there's all kinds of curriculum resources. So I
Okay.
think I asked for clarification on your question.
Okay, so what you're telling me, and I'm sure I probably misunderstood. You buy curriculum specifically for math and specifically for English, and it can be different authors for each subject.
There could be, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did not realize that, and thank you for the clarity. I will find out differently because of that.
Yeah, just, if you still have that email, do you need me to resend it or you still have it?
I still have it. Thank
Okay,
you.
Yeah, just some clarification to,
Okay, yeah, thank you, because we'd like to know. We'd like to be able to look at it and read it.
well, any curriculum resources that are purchased, according to board policy, which is local law, it cannot be ignored. So their curriculum resources, according to policy. Oh.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I think it's 217. Might be 170.
I don't recall.
It basically declares that any curricular resources that are purchased are subject to review for 30 days. And so this board has, in my tenure here, has not approved any curriculum that was not brought forward through the curricular co-curricular committee meeting and was also presented at any board meeting and then before it was approved.
Okay.
And so there are curricular resources so there's curriculum that is written, and then there's curricular resources, and there are two different policies that support that.
105 is our
105.
curriculum.
Okay.
And I think 106 or 107 is for resources.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it depends if they're core resources. So there's an absolute process for that. So
Okay.
I think if you're asking for something specific, I need just a little more detail to get back to you about this. If you have a dollar amount or a vendor or something, I could probably help you.
I don't have a vendor and I do have a dollar amount, but I've had problems getting into board docs,
Okay.
to the public board docs. So I'm not really sure of what exactly it is,
Just
but I'll
let me
check
know what
into
else you
it.
need.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think the point is that the public has an opportunity to comment on the curriculum in several points in the process of it being adopted. It's not something that's hidden or anything like that. We have publicly available curriculum committee meetings, and it's discussed at these meetings as well. So there's lots of opportunity for feedback if the parents and folks would like to do that.
I sent out an email to every board member here and I couldn't get the answer that Superintendent Martin just provided.
Well,
Why is that?
I guess my suggestion is attend the meetings, come to the meetings and.
Right.
and
Half of the
tell
board
us.
didn't show up tonight. They couldn't show up to the meeting either.
We have more than half of the board here.
Okay, well, you're missing quite a few.
I mean, we
I'm
like it
missing
when the
3.
public comes here. I like it. It's entertaining. I mean, I
Right.
prefer that more members of the public are here. than
Sure,
not.
I totally agree with
So
that.
please attend every meeting.
I
ask
completely
your
agree with
questions.
that.
And which email? Because I don't have one about curriculum from you.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Okay.
But
Feel
I
free to
most
resend
certainly
it to
did.
me because I did not see that.
Um,
And your 4 minutes is up.
oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the answers. I appreciate that.
All right, we'll move on to our superintendent's report.
Okay, so just a few things this evening. Earlier this week, on Tuesday night, we had a group of stakeholders join us for comprehensive plan stakeholder group. What we're trying to do is look at our comprehensive plan from 3 years ago and look at what are the future goals for our graduates and maybe refining some of the goals that we set 3 years ago. Check in on progress with what PDE measures us on, as well as try to set some direction for a profile of a graduate. What we know is that academic achievement, academic growth, those things are important. They're absolutely essential for graduates. But if we think about the future for our students and what type of jobs they'll be addressing, we need to make sure that the higher critical thinking skills and what some people refer to as soft skills that employers look for, and sometimes that's the unwritten curriculum. How are we as a school district what are those skills that we value? How do we narrow that down to the most important skills that our community values? And then how are we going to measure that during that child's journey through our curriculum from grades kindergarten through 12th grade? So we were together for about 2.5 hours on Tuesday night. We'll be reconvening again in 2 weeks. And we've also asked the members of the group to go out and get feedback from 3 additional people that they know. Whether you're a student, you should ask 3 more students. If you're a community member, you're asking 3 more community members and so forth. And so that we now amplify the information that we're getting to make some decisions moving forward. The idea is that the stakeholder group would give us input on where they want us to go with it. And then our administrative team over the next 3 years will be just laying out a plan to meet the goals that the stakeholder group is directing us forward with. So I want to thank those who have been putting in the extra time to come to those meetings. We do plan to bring back a full comprehensive plan as required by PDE sometime in January. It will be open for public review and then submitted to PDE following board approval. The second thing I wanted to mention is that we held, was it last week? Last week, our Liberty Curtain meeting. October
October
4th. And so to get some direction there. I did just wanted to update the board that I did receive a timeline, a tentative timeline today from Jeff Straub from Crabtree, Warbaugh and Associates. And he's just kind of laying out the steps for a potential opening of a building in August of 2025. In order to stay on that timeline, he's seeking, and this is just again, a tentative timeline, approval moving forward at the November meeting. Moving forward, what does that mean? What I've asked him for is to provide me with a draft contract of what the services are going to cost from Crabtree Warbaugh before we go any further with them, so that the board could consider how in steps do we want to address the Liberty Curtain project, and before the board commits to a full-blown construction project. So there's a lot of planning and design that goes into that. And so I just want to be very clear with the board about what that's going to entail. And so I hope to bring to you in November an update on those potential costs before you commit to a larger project. And then, as you all know, I set up an email account for us to monitor so that anybody could provide us some feedback or ask questions. And that email address is lcproject@kcsd.us. As of now, Mr. Umbenhauer and I have been monitoring that account. There have been 2 folks who provided feedback. Both of them were positive feedback towards looking into the project, and they were very pleased with the board's direction at this point. There were no questions as of now, so we've responded to both of those community members and let them know that we would share that information with the board. So probably in my weekly update to you this week, I'll share with you also those emails, those comments. And then finally, the third thing I wanted to mention for this week was earlier today, I had the opportunity to meet with Trish Coral. She is director at the Penn Highlands Community College. And as you know, on tonight's agenda, there's an articulation agreement with Penn Highlands. That articulation agreement permits any one of our students in a career and technical center program to receive 15 credits towards an associate degree with Penn Highlands. What a great opportunity for our kids. What's most interesting about what Penn Highlands is working towards is they're working towards a site closer to us. They're currently looking into sites in Center County, and I did talk with her about whether or not they wanted to look for a site in Clinton County. So currently, right now, there are no students enrolled at Penn Highlands from Clinton County, but this is an area that they would like to target. And I was very impressed with her. I was very impressed with the programs that they're offering. And I would also say that, a figure that she tossed out today was that Penn Highlands has ranks first for graduation rate among community colleges in Pennsylvania. So I think this is very high quality program, high quality thing that we need to look into building this relationship beyond an articulation agreement, and also spending a lot of time encouraging our families to learn more about this. And so our students have more options. So just want to tell you, I learned more about it this morning than I knew last week, and I was very impressed. So I just want to pass that along to you this evening. And that's all I have for board members, unless you have questions on those topics.
Anyone? All right. We will move on. The only committee that met since our last meeting is the policy committee. Elizabeth, or?
Sure. Unfortunately, 2 of our board members couldn't attend. So it was just myself and Jack, Dr. Martin, and administrative team. So since there was just a couple of things on there and they're just slight changes, and this was, I think, October 12th, that was the committee meeting. We just collectively said, we'll just put it on next month's work session. And then if you have any questions or anything, these aren't game-changing policies, just slight text that'll be changed. And then the following month, we are going to be looking at some new things, and hopefully our other committee members can make it at that time. So good group. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, otherwise it was just very plain and simple.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And 2 of the 3 policies that'll be coming forward next month have no changes to them. It is a requirement for our federal dollars that those policies are reviewed by the board annually. And then the third policy had very minor changes, and you'll see those changes in bold print. Or a strike through. I think there's a strike through in there too. That'll be next month.
All right. Any board members have any questions? Okay. So I'm looking down through the agenda. I don't think we have- There were a couple additions to the personnel agenda, I believe, or one anyway. They have stars on them if you haven't looked at them yet. I saw one there. Oh, these are any agendas. So if nobody has any questions on that, I will, there is an addition for a leave of absence. Mr. Johnston, could you help me move the agenda, please?
Certainly. I would like to make a motion to move the entire agenda with the exception of any items that any board members would like to pull for a separate consideration.
I have a second, please. Seconded by Mr. Schulz. Is there anything anybody would like pulled for separate consideration? Hearing none. Are you good, David?
Yep.
I just want to be sure.
Yep,
Okay.
yes. Oh, I didn't see.
All right,
oh,
Mrs.
I missed a bit.
Can I have a roll call vote then, Mrs. Long? Ms. Long? You're fine.
Mr. Dietrich,
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Johnston,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scholes,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
6 yes votes, motion carries.
Perfect. All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion to adjourn.
Wow, without Roger here and Butch, we don't have anything. Do you want to? We need a second.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.